Hi, welcome to my messy kitchen. Anyways, my name is Jennifer. I live in Canada and I'm a military wife, and my family just got transferred out here to Ontario where there is a huge COVID outbreak, and thankfully my children are at home learning, so it's not as much of a worry for us. However, there's lots of people in our community that have kids that are going to school right now, and I really feel for them. I just found out that there were outbreaks at both my kids' schools, but I'm going to heal myself with food. It's Thanksgiving here in Canada, and usually my house is full of people, family, friends, people popping over, making meals together, and we're on our own. We were told to isolate. So we're isolating, also being new to the city. We really don't have any friends here except for a couple of groups of friends that, of course, we can't see right now. So I just thought I'd share making my Thanksgiving dinner with you. I start early because I make a lot of food. So I'm gonna start by putting on my apron, which my husband hates, but I don't care. This year I started with my cabbage. Being Ukrainian, Polish, Norwegian background, I got the European coming out in me, and I started with my cabbage, which was grabbing a giant cabbage, chopping it right down really thin, chopping up some bacon, sauteing that with half a red onion. Here's the other half. These were local out of Ontario, so it's great. I have so many amazing local produce here to choose from. So everything in this dish is local, which is really cool. So I sauteed up my onions and bacon, and now I am getting it wilted down. Started adding my cabbage bit by bit. I have a gas stove. It's my first gas stove, and I'm really enjoying using it. I started off with the heat up high to heat up the pan, got the oil going, and it's really coming out nice. The cabbage is wilting, as you can see. I've also got some little bit, probably about a quarter of a cup of really finely sliced celery, and then I shredded in a great big carrot. And I'm in the process of shredding a bunch of tart apples, which we actually went and picked last weekend. So amazing. The kids had a lot of fun doing that. We were really lucky to have my mom and sister out visiting right before things basically started getting locked down here in Ontario. So that was a fun activity for them, and we're still able to enjoy it. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So seriously, I don't measure anything. I just kind of throw everything in, and I do it by taste, and if there's lots of leftovers, I'll just freeze it and have it for another meal, or maybe I'll put some care packages together and give them to my new neighbors, see how they like it. So I'm adding in these beautiful tart apples to the cabbage. Now, you didn't see this earlier, but once I got everything into the pan and combined, that was the onions, the bacon, the cabbage, celery, and carrots. At that point, I added in organic apple cider vinegar. Probably in the beginning, I think I started with about a half a cup. And I'm gonna taste it as we go just to see how it comes together. I also added probably about a half a teaspoon of Worcestershire. Is that how you say it? So I'm gonna just combine this and give it a little taste. I hope you can hear me. I've got my fan going here on one. Grab a fork. And see how we're coming along here. Mmm. It's really coming together. I can taste the tartness of the apples, but the one thing that it's missing, my mother and my grandmother would never forgive me for not putting this in, is the dough. You have to have dough. Like, you absolutely have to have dough. And wine, but let's see, what time is it? 11:22. It's still too soon for 1 o'clock. Okay. So I like to buy my dough fresh and wash it, dry it off a little bit so that it doesn't have any water droplets on it. And then I chop it up and put it into Ziploc bags so that I always have fresh dough. Otherwise, you stick it in the fridge and it gets all yucky and nasty. That smells good. Okay, so I can tell you from my last taste that it just was not tart enough. I don't know, 1/4 cup, 1/3 of a cup. And that's something that you can do according to like whatever your taste buds want. I like things a little more on the tart side. I haven't even added salt or pepper yet at this point. I like to kind of get everything whittled down here and then taste all of the natural flavors. Okay. I'm gonna add some cracked pepper. And some sea salt. I like to use sea salt. It's not such a strong flavor. I try to be a little more heart smart in our house. I didn't add as much bacon as I normally do. I think it's got about just over 1/4 of a package of bacon in here. I used to do probably half, if not a whole package of bacon, but you know how that goes. Okay, let's taste it and see how we're doing. Okay. A little more of the Worcestershire. Now it's getting nice and tart. Yum. Got my sugar. Keep it in my mom's old Tupperware, which I love. Kind of makes me feel like she's here in my kitchen. This is about, I think, probably about a tablespoon of sugar. This is white sugar. I suppose you could use any sugar that you wanted, but I really like how white sugar tastes in it. Brown sugar I find is just a little too sweet and caramelly with the cabbage. Now it's really coming together. It's so pretty. All the different colors. Let's give it another taste. See how it turned out. Oh my God. That is so good. I forgot something. Okay, so I got Frank's Red Hot here. I put that shit on everything. I love it. It just adds another dimension to whatever dish you're making. And I love it in my cabbage. Now that smells good. Got a little bit of a spice from the cayenne in there. Okay, next up, I use my highest seasoning, no MSG. There's probably maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon in here. This is quite a large ham. Let's see how this turned out. And then what I'm going to do, once I have it all together, is just let it sit. It's always better a few days after. Just a touch. I don't like to over season. Okay, so I believe I am done. It's so pretty. I just love it. With this, it's really hot. I'll show you up close. Got my trusty mitts. Here it is. So steamy, delicious. My Baba used to put peppercorns into the bottom of it, and then she would also use like a smoked meat. She would put some smoked meat in it, like a Schwartz's smoked meat. She would make her own. It was absolutely fantastic. That was so good with the cabbage. But what's going to be even better is having this in a couple of days with the turkey and the stuffing. It's so delicious. But then what I do with it, because we all get sick of eating cabbage, is I'll make it into a soup. We usually get sick of turkey within a week, so I'll make up a ham, and then I will have ham bone soup, and I will use this cabbage that I made in the ham bone soup. I'll package it up into smaller packages and throw it into my deep freeze, and then I've always got some on hand when I make some different dishes, if I want a side or if I want to add it in. So today is Friday, and we're actually going to do our Thanksgiving on Sunday. And turn this off because it's done. So I'm making a lot of things ahead of time so that I can actually enjoy the day with my family. And seeing as we're having it on Sunday, we'll actually have Thanksgiving Monday to spend going for a walk in the park, checking out the beautiful fall colors, and doing some activities, and then enjoying the day together. So earlier today, I made my own cranberries. So super easy. They cook down just beautifully. Seriously, so much better than getting it in a can. I'm gonna have it with ham, turkey. I put it on turkey sandwiches with a little bit of stuffing. So good. So basically I just took one of those big packages of cranberries from Costco, threw them in here after rinsing them off with about the orange juice from 6 oranges, and I use these guys. These clementines, they're like sweet and sour. They're really, really yummy right now. Threw those in, and then I topped them off with water, just enough until you're about this much below the top. And they're so, so good. I had them on the stove on about, started them on high, and then I turned them down to about, I'd say 4, and I let them go and go and go. And I come in and stir them, and then I like to pop all the cranberries, because for me, I don't like having a cranberry burst in my mouth while I'm eating my dinner. I like to have them all cooked right down. So I cook them down, probably takes about 15 minutes. I added 1/3 cup of brown sugar, about 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and I just kept letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. Then I gave it a taste because I like mine more tart. I added about another 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and then about 1/8 teaspoon of salt, just to help enhance the natural flavors. And I'm telling you, it's to die for. I made some last week, and I had to make a whole new batch because we ate it all up. So that's it for now. I'll post when I'm cooking again. I think this afternoon I'm gonna make my stuffing. At least get started on that. And I don't think I'm gonna brine my turkey this year. I don't know how many of you brine your turkeys, but I've done that the past few years, and I really don't think it makes a difference. So, and this year too, I have a fresh turkey. I don't have a frozen turkey. So I want to really enjoy the taste of the turkey. So that's it for now. I'm going to give my daughter and my son some lunch. It's just about noon here. So I hope you enjoyed my little video on my Thanksgiving dinner. And just the beginning of it. There's so much more food to come. Happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you're all staying healthy and safe.